we've been getting so many films submitted to Firestarter. We're having like a little bit of a, submit beforehand so we can just justify that it's a story and that it's not just something that's YouTube worthy versus, something that a general audience will get into. So you can be able to come and show your films at Firestarter. It's $5 to get in the door, but it's free to show your work. And one of the gentlemen that's been there before is Bert Gross, and he does a lot of cartoon work here in the area. And we're actually working on a cartoon together about a homicidal teddy bear that basically, he's the first toy that this child got, and he kills off any other toy that the child receives throughout his lifetime. And, so it's a lot of fun. So basically, if you haven't heard of Firestarter Films, there's a website. You can go to firestarterfilms.com, and we videotape the entire event, so we show a recap of who was there and what they showed. I get to say, look at how awesome this event is. At the last event, we had Anupam Das. He might be coming to the meeting in a little bit. He works for Ravensoft, which is a video game company out of Madison, and he gave like a 10-minute presentation on how basically they do motion capture and how they create stories, and video games are being specifically made from start to finish in Madison right now. And we get a handful of other really creative people. We get people from Chicago coming up, and which is kind of weird because Milwaukee, you would think Milwaukee would be going to Chicago, but there is no other city that's having a Firestarter Films type event. So if you're interested, I can give you more information. I keep talking about this too much. But if you have a storyline, or if you have something that you'd really like to get to a large audience, Firestarter is a great place because we show 30 minutes worth of film, then we take 20-minute breaks. So literally, what you're seeing up on the screen, you can walk over to this person and say, hey, I want to work with you in the future. If you don't like what's up on the screen, you can avoid them for the rest of the night. But there are actors, composers, directors, a lot of creative people to hook up with. It's just a lot of fun.
Isn't Anupam Das, isn't he from Milwaukee?
Anupam's from Milwaukee, and then he went to Marquette University High School. I'm sure we went to school around here or something, and then moved out to Hollywood. He's worked for Steven Spielberg and a bunch of different people. He's done like Hershey's commercials, and he's worked on Call of Duty 4 or something like that. I don't play video games, so I don't know.
Did he work for Logan, do you know, for a while? I think I know him.
I think he's going to stop. He told me he's going to stop by in a little bit here.
Oh.
So just a really cool guy, and there's just a lot of creative people in the area. There just aren't any other events as far as for filmmakers, and we're always looking for people to work with. I mean, I haven't done animation before. Bert Gross is the first person that I'm actually working on a cartoon with, but I know a ton of other people that come to Firestarter who are screenwriters, and they're looking for people to team up with. And if you want to get in on something creative, there's a lot of people there.
When's the next meeting?
The next one's going to be the middle of August. We haven't set an exact date. It's going to be at the Harley-Davidson Museum. So we started as a small group with just like 50 people, and it's totally blown out of proportion, and now we're at Harley-Davidson because we get anywhere from 2 to 250 people. But it's a lot of fun, a lot of unique people, and yeah, just let me know if you're interested. Thanks.
John, you want to talk about your commercial?
What?
This is John Brown of the Raw.
Hi.
Vancouver Film School, traditional animation.
Yeah?
You just shot a commercial.
I didn't shoot it myself, actually. I coordinated the commercial. Should I talk?
Oh yeah, please.
I'm John Brown. About 5-6 years ago, I changed careers. And I went to Vancouver Film School and studied traditional hand-drawn animation. So for about a year. It was a very intensive year program, about 40 hours a week for a whole year, so I learned all the old traditional methods of hand-drawn animation, which was fantastic. If I could do that for the rest of my life, I'd be a happy, happy man. But then at the end of that year, there was also a component with Flash animation. So then I learned Flash at the end of that, and then transitioned that into working in television animation in Vancouver. So I did that for about 2.5, 3 years. So I did design work and storyboarding and all that in Vancouver for television, and then moved back to Milwaukee about a 1.5, 2 years ago, and I've been kind of trying to do freelance work in hand-drawn animation and illustration ever since. So I've picked up a few jobs here and there. I worked for for a studio called Big Font Studio in Tennessee. I've got another gig coming up there next month doing traditional hand-drawn. That's a short for Scholastic Weston Woods. So I'm going to do that. And I've just been picking up kind of flash animation here and there. The last thing I worked on was just a film shoot. There was a Wisconsin State Lottery commercial, and I did a stint coordinating that for the past like 3 weeks. And that was kind of fun. They had a couple people in from LA. They had a DP in from LA and a set designer, and it was a pretty big budget. I think it was about $250,000, something like that, for a couple weeks shoot. So it was a lot of fun. So yeah, other than that, I'm just trying to kind of piece everything together. I've also got I've got a studio space at a gallery called Redline, and that's over on 4th Street. And so I'm doing I just started work this week on a short. So one of my own shorts that I'm going to be doing, and then I have a show at the end of July at Redline. So hopefully I'll have about, I don't know, my best estimate, or my dream is to have about 30 seconds of original animation for that, but I'm doing it frame by frame, hand drawn. And I'm just doing straight ahead animation for that, which I haven't really done a lot of. And straight ahead is just, you just draw and then one frame leads to the next, as opposed to like keying it out, as opposed to planning it out. So I'm just kind of experimenting with some straight ahead animation, and yeah. That's about it.
What was can I ask, what was the commercial about? What was the?
It was a Packer commercial.
Oh, okay.
It was actually a huge production. It had 4 different setups. So they did 4 different bedrooms and 4 sets of actors, all on a sound stage in one day. So it was a huge amount of work to do in one day. So it's a 30-second commercial that should be airing this fall during all the Packer games.
What part took 3 weeks?
The coordinating, like the setting it all up. So a friend of mine is a director and a producer. So we took the first, actually it was about a 2-week shoot, 2.5-week shoot. We took the first 2 weeks basically just to organize and set it all up. And then we got the DP and the set designer in from LA, and it took the set designer about 3 days to design the sets, and then we had a couple days post production. So it was only 1 day shoot. We shot Thursday of last week. So that's fun. That was a lot of fun. I would like to do some stuff like that again. There's not a lot of commercial work being done, but there's a fair bit, I guess. So I've done a lot of like managerial stuff. So the coordinating was pretty fun. It was pretty hectic though.
Are we going to be able to see updates of your short, or is it going to be all at once? We'll see it all at once.
Probably all at once. I don't know. I can maybe post it to my blog. I worked today. I did about 8 hours today and got about a second and a half of animation. So it's slow going. And I haven't even shot it yet. So
what's your blog called?
it's John T. Brown, JONTBROWN at Yahoo or at .blogspot.com.
Do you want to? Just before you go, you want to bring it up on the laptop?
I don't have anything there. I don't have anything new.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, I'll ask you to post it to the Milwaukee Animation Group website.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I can shoot. I did, like I said, I did about a second and a half today, so I can probably post it. Yeah. That's about it.
All right. Thanks, Dan.
Sure, you bet.
Who wants to go? I actually said, who wants to go next? Chris, you want to go next? I mentioned in my last emails that there are essentially 2 job opportunities. Chris, did I overstate that? I have one. And did I overstate what you told me about as a job opportunity?
No, not really. I'll talk about that.
Okay.
My name is Christian Kaczynski. I'm an independent filmmaker in Milwaukee, and I just got finished. Well, I shouldn't say I just got finished, but starting in May of 2009, I started working on my first feature film, and I'm in the process of finishing up in the next 2 weeks. And what I was referring to is that as of today, I lost my motion graphics designer to do my title sequence, so now I'm looking for a new one. But it's a non-paying gig, and it's just somebody I'm looking for who would do it for free and do it for credit in the film. But can I show the trailer?
Oh, please, yeah.
We get the links. Thank you.